Good morning to everyone. Today's last session in this lesson, we are going to discuss about mitochondrial structure and its function, chloroplast structure and its function, lysosomes and then ribosomes, vacuoles. These are the main concepts in this today's session. Okay, first of all, I want to discuss about mitochondria and its structure and then functions. Okay, mitochondria. Okay, mitochondria is oval shaped or disc shaped cell organelle. It is having two layers. Okay, this is outer membrane, this is inner membrane, but in mitochondria, the inner membrane is folded inwards into the matrix, and it can protrude as finger-like projections. Okay, the inner membrane protrudes into inward fluid material as like this. Okay, this is inner membrane, folded inner membrane. The outer membrane is smooth and without foldings. Okay, but the inner mitochondrial membrane is folded like finger-like projections into finger-like projections. Is it clear? Okay, these finger-like projections are called as cristae. Okay, cristae are the finger-like projections. These are formed by folding of inner mitochondrial membrane towards which region? Towards the fluid filled matrix. That means in case of cell, the fluid is called as cytoplasm, but it is a cell organelle, not the complete cell. It is a part of cell. Okay, inside the mitochondria, here also fluid is present. This fluid is named as matrix. That's why these cristae are folded towards the matrix. Inside the mitochondria, DNA is present. And other proteins or etc. needs for the mitochondrial replication are present. That means mitochondria having self-regeneration capacity. That's why mitochondria is also called as free living organism inside a cell. It is an important bit. Okay, it is not there in your textbook. Okay, it is beyond your textbook. That means free living organism inside a cell. This is not a organism, but Why it is called as organism? Because it having the self-replication capacity. That means it can divide it into 2 or more number of mitochondria by its own mechanism. It not depends upon the cell. It not depends upon the cell. It controls itself and it can replicate itself, okay, by using its proteins and DNA, okay. This is about mitochondria. Then these cristae having some particles scattered into matrix. These are at the one side attached to the cristae and remaining body freely floated in the matrix region. These particles are called as F0, F1 particles, okay. F0, F1 particles. It is also, this point also not there in your textbook, okay, but it will come in your intermediate, okay. Why mitochondria? Do you know mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell? Powerhouse of the cell. That means it can generate power. Power means electricity? No, not at all, okay. Here in case of mitochondria, power nothing but ATP. So mitochondria involved in cellular respiration. Okay, in the cellular respiration process inside the cells, respiration will take place. It is called as cellular respiration. Okay, in case of cellular respiration, the end product of the cellular respiration is ATP. That means here energy will release out. That's why this reaction, energy will release out. This reaction is also called as exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. Okay. Now this ATP is called as powerhouse. Why? Because sorry. Mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell. Why? Because it can release the ATP. So ATP is again named as energy currency of the cell. ATP is named as energy currency. Energy currency of the cell is ATP. Powerhouse of the cell is mitochondria. Okay, the ATP formation will take place at which region? This F0, F1 particles region. Okay, at the region of F0, F1 particles, an enzyme is present, an enzyme complex is present, that enzyme complex is ATP synthase enzyme complex. Okay, with the help of this enzyme complex, F0, F1 particles can releases the ATP from inorganic ADP plus and pi, okay, will gives rise to ATP molecule. Okay, why ATP is called as energy currency of the cell? Due to breakdown of ATP, we will do functions. That's why to do function, we should utilize the ATP. That's why it is called as energy currency. Okay. Due to liberation of ATP, mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell. Is it clear? This is nothing but mitochondria. Mitochondria function is to release the ATP, and then cellular respiration. Cellular respiration and release of ATP. This is about mitochondria. Next one, chloroplast. Next one, chloroplast. Next one, chloroplast. Chloroplast. Chloroplast is also vowel shaped or disc shaped cell organelle. It is also having double membranes or two membranes. Double membranes or two membranes. Two membranes. Okay, two membranes. Okay, chloroplast, plast, that means it is a plastid. Plastid, okay, plastid is color producing agent. Color producing agent. So, it is chloroplast. Chloroplast, that's why the outer membrane of chloroplast is named as outer periplastidial membrane. Outer periplastidial. It is a plastid, that's why it is a plastidial membrane, but it is present outside, that's why it is called as outer periplastidial membrane. Okay, inner to this, it is inner plastidial membrane. Inner plastidial membrane. Inner plastidial membrane. Okay, then inside the chloroplast there is a fluid filled matrix. Fluid filled matrix is present. Here it is called as, this fluid is called as stroma. This fluid is called as stroma. Stroma is fluid matrix. Fluid matrix inside the chloroplast. Okay, in this fluid matrix, that is stroma, there are thylakoids. Stalks of thylakoids are present. Stalks of thylakoids are present. Stalks of, stalk nothing but they are arranged one above the other. They are arranged one above the other. That's why stalks of thylakoids. Okay. These are the thylakoids. It is thylakoid. Okay, now this thylakoid is connected with a membranous extension. This thylakoid is connected with a membranous extension called as stroma lemma. It is called as stroma lemma. But in case of, but according to our textbook, stroma lemma is the third membrane of the chloroplast. Third membrane of the chloroplast according to our textbook. Okay. Okay, in general, in your PG levels or degree levels, chloroplast having only two membranes. Okay, thylakoids are attached with a membrane called stroma lemma. Okay. According to your textbook, this is third membrane. That means, in case of chloroplast, how many membranes are there? There are three membranes. First membrane is outer periplastidial membrane. Second one, inner periplastidial membrane. Third one, stroma lemma. What is the function of stroma lemma? Is to connect the thylakoids. Okay. In between these two, outer and inner membrane, there is a space is present, space, okay, free space is present, that is called as periplastidial space. Here I represented thylakoids in different numbers. That means here more number, here only single one, here two in number. Okay, why it is represented here like that? Because the arrangement, based upon the arrangement of thylakoids are two types. Thylakoids are two types. One is grana thylakoid. Grana thylakoid. Second one is stroma. Second one is here. Stroma thylakoid. Second one is stroma thylakoid. Why it is called as grana thylakoid and it is as stroma thylakoid? Because the thylakoid which is freely scattered in the stroma nothing but fluid matrix. Okay, the type of thylakoid which is freely exposed to the stroma, it is called as stroma thylakoid. If the thylakoid arranged one above the other and form a stalk of a rows of thylakoids, that's why it is called as grana thylakoid. Grana thylakoid nothing but it is arranged one above the other and form a stalk or form a row of thylakoids. It is called as grana thylakoid. Okay, now this is about stroma thylakoid and grana thylakoid. But in case of grana thylakoid, the thylakoidal surfaces are two types. The thylakoid surfaces are two types. That means it is grana. Okay, it is grana. Now the area which is exposed to the stroma, this is nothing but stroma. The region of thylakoid which is exposed to the stroma, it is called as non-appressed region. Non-appressed region. But the region of thylakoid which is not freely exposed to the surrounding stroma, that means it is covered by next layer of thylakoid. So this layer is called as appressed region. The region which is exposed to the stroma freely is called as non-appressed region. The region which is covered with other thylakoid are not exposed to the surrounding stroma, it is called as appressed region of the thylakoid. Now, what is the function of these thylakoids and stroma? Okay, do you know photosynthesis takes place in which region? In the chloroplast. Okay, do you know photosynthesis having two steps? That is one light reaction, another one is dark reaction. One is, okay, photosynthesis having two reactions. One is light reaction and second one is dark reaction. Now this light reaction takes place at the region of thylakoids. This light reaction takes place at the region of thylakoids. That means these thylakoids can trap the light energy. That means sunlight present in the atmosphere. Okay, the thylakoids present inside the chloroplast, they can trap the radiant energy, nothing but sunlight from the atmosphere. Okay, that's why here light reaction takes place in the which region? Thylakoid region. Thylakoid region. Dark reaction. Why it is called as dark reaction? It is not takes place in the daytime. It only takes place in the night time. Am I correct? No. It is completely wrong. Okay. Why it is called as dark reaction? It is also takes place in daytime. Okay, daytime. But it does not depends upon the light. It does not depends upon the light. That means they can't take light energy for its completion. That type of reaction is dark reaction. So, this dark reaction takes place in which region? Stroma. Stroma nothing but fluid. Dark reaction takes place in the fluid. Light reaction takes place in the thylakoid. Okay, is it clear? Further explanation, okay, will come in your upcoming classes. Now, this is about chloroplast. Okay, along with these organelles, along with these parts, chloroplast also having circular double circle DNA. Double circle DNA. This is nothing but DNA. Circular DNA. Double circular DNA. Okay. Along with this, starch granule. Starch is the end product of the photosynthesis. Starch is the end product of the photosynthesis. Okay, the formed starch will store inside the chloroplast. Okay, then along with these ribosomes and another lipid globules also present in the chloroplast. Okay, then here one interesting point present. Inside the chloroplast, DNA is in circular shape. That means the DNA not surrounded by any nuclear membrane. The DNA not surrounded by any nuclear membrane. It is freely scattered in the stroma. Freely scattered in the stroma. It is the characteristic feature of which organisms? Characteristic feature of which organisms? Prokaryotes. That means prokaryotes. Prokaryotes. Okay, this is the characteristic feature of prokaryotes. Okay, that's why chloroplast is also called as the eukaryotic cell organelle, but which is having prokaryotic nature. Okay, which is having prokaryotic nature. Wait. Okay, now eukaryotic cell organelle. It is in prokaryotic nature. It is in prokaryotic nature. Okay. First thing, eukaryotic cell organelle. Chloroplasts present in which organisms? Either plants, okay, or any other organisms. But in case of plants, plant is eukaryotic. Plant is eukaryotic. But it is in which nature? Prokaryotic nature. It is a cell organelle, not the cell. Okay, plant cell DNA is covered with nuclear membrane, but inside the plant cell chloroplast is present. Inside the chloroplast DNA is in prokaryotic nature. Got my point, students? Okay. Then here starch granule is present. Is it correct? It is the end product of the photosynthesis. So chloroplasts are called as okay, food storing cell organelles. Food storing cell organelle. Food storing cell organelle is chloroplast. That means due to the storage of food only, plants are called as universal food providers. Plants are called as universal food providers. Universal food providers. Why? Because from the plants only all types of organisms can take the food. Okay, the food chain starts with the plants only. That's why whole universe depends upon plant. Okay, from these plants only food is transferred from one tropic level to other tropic level. Okay, that's why plants are called as universal food providers. Okay, but the cell organelle chloroplast is called as food storing cell organelle. It is different. Universal food providers are the plants. Food storing cell organelle is the chloroplast. Okay, then chloroplast having pigments. Do you know which type of pigment present in chloroplast? I think you know only chlorophyll. Along with this chlorophyll, carotenoids and phycobilins also other types of carotenoids present in the chloroplast. Chlorophyll is green in color. Chloroplast is green in color. Okay, carotenoids are orange. Okay, orange yellow in color. These are red and blue in color. These two pigments are called as accessory pigments. These two pigments are called as accessory pigments. Why it is called as accessory pigments? Because from the photo-oxidation mechanism, these accessory pigments can protect the chlorophyll pigment. That's why because chlorophyll is sensitive to the sunlight. That's why these accessory pigments can protect the chlorophyll from the photo-oxidation. Okay, these are the nothing but accessory pigments. This green colored chlorophyll involved in photosynthesis mechanism and involved in the formation of starch. This is about chloroplast. Then lysosomes. Lysosomes are type of cell organelle which are especially present in phagocytic cells. These cells are involved in resistance mechanism or immune mechanisms. That means, for example, WBC involved in phagocytic mechanism. That means they can trap the microorganism. It is virus, maybe it is bacteria, maybe. Okay, whatever may be, the foreign particle will enter the body. it can trapped by the WBC cell and it can enters the WBC. Inside the WBC, lysosomes will more when compared to common cells. When compared to common cells also having lysosomes. Common cells also having lysosomes, but phagocytic cells having more number of lysosomes. Okay, what is the function of lysosome here? Lysosome can releases some enzymes, some digestive enzymes. These digestive enzymes work on microorganisms and will break down into pieces. From this, after digestion process completes, these digested particles are excreted out from the cell body. It is the function of lysosome. It can eliminate the toxic materials, it can eliminate the unwanted particles entered into our body. Okay, lysosomes also having a name, that is suicidal bags of the cell. Okay, what is meant by suicide? Self-killing. Self-killing. Okay, lysosomes, these are lysosomes. Okay, it can engulf the microorganism and it can break down and burst into the cell environment. From this cell environment, these enzymes can also act on the damaged cell. It is affected with a microorganism, it is called as damaged cell, not a healthy cell. Okay, damaged cell. To remove these damaged cells, lysosomes involved in suicide mechanism. Along with the self-killing of lysosomes, this complete cell break down and burst into small pieces and it can eliminate from that environment. Okay, after this mechanism completes, new cell will develop from existing cells. This is about lysosomes. Next one, ribosomes. I already told about function of ribosomes. What is that? Protein synthesis. Ribosomes involved in translation mechanism. Protein synthesis. Translation nothing but protein synthesis. Okay, ribosomes are two types, ATS ribosomes and 70S ribosomes. ATS ribosomes having two types of subunits, that is 60S subunit, okay, and 40S subunits. Okay, 6 plus 40, 100, but here I mentioned 80. Why? Because due to attachment of 60S ribosome with the 40S ribosome, some part is mingled into the 60S ribosome. That's why it becomes as ATS ribosome. Okay, here 50S and 30S are the subunits. Here also same mechanism. This is 50, this is 30. Actually, in addition, it gives 80S, but here I mentioned 70S. Why? Because 10% is lost due to mixing of two subunits. This is nothing but ribosomes. These are involved in protein synthesis. These are especially found in endoplasmic reticulum. Which type of endoplasmic reticulum? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are formed from which region? Nucleolus. It is present in the nucleus. Nucleolus. Okay, this is about ribosomes. Next one, vacuole. Okay, one point in case wait, I will explain. Before I want to explain about vacuole. Vacuole. In case of plant cell, vacuole is large and it can occupy about 90% of space, and it is present at the center of the plant cell, But in case of animal cell, it is maybe small or absent, completely absent. Okay, only 1 or 2% of space can be occupied by the vacuoles. Okay, now from this vacuole logical point, we can say plant cell having nucleus at the corner of the cell. Why? Because 90% of space is occupied by the vacuole. Vacuole nothing but sac-like, bubble-like structure. It can store food material or any other secretions. Vacuole. Okay, due to presence of this big vacuole at the center of the plant cell, the nucleus present towards the edges. But in case of animal cell, due to absence of this vacuole, the nucleus present exactly center or near to the center of the cell. This is about vacuole and nucleus. Okay. Next, here two theories are present. Cell theories. Okay, the proponent of cell theory are Sheldon and Schwann. These are the proponents. First time they can assume cells will synthesize from any other materials, but it is completely wrong. Later, another scientist R. Virchow proved that cells coming from pre-existing cells. Pre-existing means already presented cells inside the body. From this pre-existing cells only new cells will arise. This is principle, one of the principles. Second principle, an organism is made up of cells or cell components. This is the approved cell theory of R. Virchow. This is approved theory. This is a proponent theory of Sheldon and Schwann. Okay, this is about cell and its structure and function. Up to here our chapter is completed. Thank you.